Hi, I'm Bella from Generations Working Together, and as you know, we've been working with the Soil Association to create 4 short videos to help bring generations together through good food. Welcome to video 4 of the series, an introduction to evaluation and measuring intergenerational practice. We will introduce and equip you to practical skills to evaluate intergenerational practice when using an intergenerational approach in bringing people together through food and Food for Life get-togethers. Anyone anywhere in the UK can organise and hold a Food for Life get-together. You just have to register your activity, project or event through the Food for Life Get-Togethers website. The Food for Life Get-Together team and our partners can then offer you support in various ways to make your event a great success. This video will look at the difference that takes place when bringing generations together, the social impact, examples of outcomes and impact, and 3 steps to planning an intergenerational activity around food. Look at the differences that have taken place before you start and after the activity has taken place. Ask yourself, how is it going? Is there a difference related to people from a different age or background coming together? Is there something different that has happened through the forming of new relationships? Measuring changes which occur between or because of intergenerational practice helps everyone to understand what works well, how things went in practice, and what might not work so well. There are a whole range of impacts and changes that you might be interested in measuring. So just always bear in mind, look at what the difference is. What is the change? What has happened as a result of these generations coming together? Evaluation and social impact. Changes that occur for people or groups of people are sometimes referred to as social impact. To evaluate the impact of intergenerational practice, it is helpful to organise information into inputs, outputs and outcomes and impacts. You might be familiar with these terms. If you're not, don't worry too much about them. They're not as complicated as they sound. Tools and methods that can help to capture data include surveys, interviews, photos, films, posters, and they all are used to record anonymous feedback from participants. It's always important to ask a person for their permission, to involve them in the evaluation and to let them know what you plan to do with the information. And this is carrying out regular and routine collection of information is known as monitoring. Any data that is collected should be anonymised. That means that you don't have the person's name next to it. To collect an overall view of the project to see the difference it has made when introducing intergenerational practice, these evaluation and social impact is important because then you can see what has happened and what the difference is that's been made as a result of the generations coming together. So gathering regular feedback can improve your delivery, it can influence decision making, influence policy and provide additional funding and backing, and it can help address problems and challenges. So all in all, evaluating your project, monitoring your project, looking at how your project's doing, this all helps to bring things together to get an ideal picture of what your project is actually doing and the difference that it's making. Some examples of impact. It may be that some young people want to follow a career in working with older people. It may be that some younger people, they may consider thinking, well, I really enjoyed that and I'd really like to do that further. They might get into nursing, they might get into working in a care home, that kind of thing. And for older people, they might actually think, oh, I'm going to take up some work here and I'm going to do some volunteering and mentoring in a project or in a school or get involved in working with younger people. So there's quite a lot of different things that can happen as a result of coming together and getting to know each other and realising that there's potential beyond that. So one young person said, because we go to an intergenerational project, we can talk to them outside of the project as well, on the street, and one of them lives in my road, so I talk to her more now. I'd say hello, but I didn't really know her before. And one older person had said, my views of young people have really changed through doing this. I've learnt a lot about how they think. So all in all, it's the practice of bringing young and older people together. It learns us as humans to find out more about the different ages and different generations and how we can adapt and learn from each other and even take part in something new after the intergenerational project has taken place. We recommend 3 simple steps to planning and evaluating an intergenerational activity around food. In step 1, you must decide on your project name. And ask your community to name it if you want to as well. This is a really good thing because it includes them right from the very beginning. Explain what it is you're going to do and what the benefits are and all the people that are taking part. So there may be separate outcomes for younger and older people and the community, so you'll need to think about that too. In step 2, you can set out your own evaluation objectives, which could be to bring people together in activities that foster greater understanding between generations and people from different backgrounds. Or it could be to lower social isolation and loneliness, to increase levels of respect between generations, and this may contribute in lowering stereotypes that each generation holds towards one another. It may grow the younger generation's confidence to speak to the older generation or a generation from a different background. It also may remove social, physical, cultural and institutional barriers so that generations adjust their attitudes in such a way that increases the chance of lowering stigma, intolerance and discrimination. And of course, there is such and are just these objectives of intergender relationships forming. And there are other objectives with food that improves health and well-being, develops friendships and much more. Think about what you may require for inputs, outputs, outcomes and impacts. Ask your community. You may have something completely different, but all of these ideas are there for you to think about and take more time to develop your project and sustain it and keep people together and get people to know each other. Thank you for watching this video, which is the final one of the series. You'll be able to connect on the Food for Life website and Facebook page and find out more about resources that can be made available for you. The information is amazing and there are so many activities that you will be able to access for free. Just sign up to host a Food for Life get together, and when you're ready, contact Food for Life if you have any questions. And thanks again for taking part in today, and I hope that this has helped you to understand what intergenerational practice is and about bringing people together through sharing, cooking or growing food in your community. Many thanks. Bye bye.